What do I say about depression? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your girl Chilla. Yes, welcome back to Talk with Chilla. If this is the first time of actually hearing our voice, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk with Chilla. Or you can also follow us on Facebook, Talk with Chilla. So I'm going to be sharing a story with us of a Senegalese man that fell into depression and ended his life. Not that he ended only his own life, he ended also his children's life. When I keep telling people that people fall into depression every day, they be like, what are you saying? Depression is real. Aside from comedy, aside from laughing, aside from joking, aside from trying to keep yourself happy, you also need stories that needs to rejuvenate your mind. You also need stories that need to tell you that you are outside the real world. You also need stories that needs to tell you that the world is not what you think it is. Most people are actually happy on the outside, on the surface, and inside they are dying slowly. Most people are under depression, but depression doesn't just come like that. It comes gradually and takes you all up and swallows you inside. And when you don't have people to really talk to, people that will talk you out of depression, the person gets to the final stage. And what is the final stage? The final stage is the suicide stage, where you feel like there's nothing more for you to live again. There's nothing that is going to keep you on earth. There's nothing that is worth it in this life anymore. So you just want to end your life and move on. What causes depression? Yes, one of the reasons, what I'm going to talk about today is failed marriage. Like this Senegalese man, his own depression was based on failed marriage. Mind you, this story was copied. Yes. So this is the story of a man, a Senegalese, that killed himself and his children. Wow. Dentist Palapeya committed suicide after killing his 3 children. He injected his children with a fatal injection. He explained his gesture in a long letter in which he regretted his failed marriage with a colleague. I want to say something. I don't know why people keep saying marriage. Marriage is not a do or die affair. Marriage is not something that you must do. If you don't do, you're going to die. There are a lot of people who are in marriage and are suffering and wants to come out from this bondage. I will always advise my clients, my friends, and well-wishers and family members, make sure you marry your friend. Make sure you marry someone that understands you and you understands the person. Make sure you marry someone who trusts you. Make sure you marry somebody who forgives you. Make sure you marry someone who listens to you. So whatever you have to say, the person listens. Make sure you marry someone. Yes, make sure you marry someone that understands you, someone who listens to you. I said that before. Someone that understands your own madness, because every one of us has madness in us, but we're just trying to understand. The person you're going to get married is not your brother or your siblings or someone you're related to. It's an outside person that you need to work on. You need to work out your relationship with the person. You need to work out your character with the person. You need the person to understand you vividly. You need the person to also understand. You need to also understand the person. Don't go into marriage because your friends are getting married. Don't go into marriage because you want to be a married man or woman. Don't go into marriage because you feel like, oh, I'm old enough to get married. My dear, marriage is not a bed of roses. There are so many regretting that if they had known, they would have stayed a little bit longer before getting married. So you need to take your time and wait upon the Lord and ask God to give you a man or a woman that understands you. A woman that won't send you to an early grave. Just look at this man. He killed himself out of frustration. He killed himself and his children out of frustration. What a life. So, according to him, he said, in the process of the divorce, He did not want to leave offsprings for this loveless marriage and depicts his wife as a proud, stubborn, resentful, nervous, cold, temperamental, ingrate, wicked, manipulative, and dishonest. Oh my God. Whoa. If you are proud, you cannot be, you have no place in marriage. If you're stubborn, I think you have no place in marriage. I mean stubborn, 999% stubbornness. If you are resentful, you have no place in marriage. If you're nervous, you have no place in marriage. If you're cold, temperamental, you have no place in marriage. You are ingrate, you have no place in marriage, because marriage is all about understanding. You must get your spouse angry, and your spouse must get you angry. At the end, what do? You forgive and move on to the next phase. If you are wicked, you have no place in marriage. If you are manipulative, you have no place in marriage. And if you are dishonest, you have no place in marriage. Please stay in your father's house or your mother's house, or stay in your zone if you feel that you have all these things in you. If you want to get married, you need to understand what it means, what commitment is all about. You need to understand what forgiveness is all about. You need to understand what love is all about. You need to understand what the word never give up means. Yeah, there are poisonous women that it is best not to cross in your path. To marry them is hell on earth. And there are also poisonous men that you need not to cross in your path, that you don't need them around you. When they start showing you the red light, all you do, you take a walk. You cannot marry a man that beats you. You cannot marry a man that verbally abuses you. You cannot marry a man that lets his family sit on your head. You cannot marry a woman that lets his family talk down on you. You cannot marry a man that do not understand what love is all about. So this is a story of a man that actually entered the final stage of his life, entered the final stage of depression, and died in depression. So I'm advising you, please do not die of depression. Whatever you feel is not working out, please make sure you leave that relationship or marriage before you end up losing your life. Marriage is beautiful, marriage is sweet, but with the right person. Make sure you're staying with the right person. Make sure you're loving the right person. Make sure you end up with the right person. And how do you get this right person? You need God's intervention. You don't need nobody to tell you this is the person you need in your life. You need God to tell you this is the woman you really want to spend, or this is the man you really want to spend your life with. Thank you very much. This is Talk with Sheila. Please, if it's the first time you hear our voice on WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram, please kindly subscribe and also turn on your notification bell after subscribing, so you'll be updated on our latest story, depression stories. Remember, life is not about laughing, and life is not about comedy. You also need stories that will trigger your mind, that will tell you that this life is not a bed of roses. Thank you very much for listening to this our short story. We love you, and please keep sticking with us.